want to love my life again. It's been a while since I felt like I have. There are so many reasons as to why I felt so lackluster about everything. And I don't know, I'm sitting here, it's super late. I was about to go to bed and I just felt like I needed to talk about this because it's just so on my mind recently. And I'm sure a lot of people in their mid-20s, like post-grad, still a little uncertain and confused about their path. You probably feel this way too. So I thought it would be important to, hash this out in some way. Sorry, y'all. I knew that I wrote a bunch of stuff down that kind of had to do with this, so I wanted to make sure I grabbed that. Honestly, I think I've been struggling with loving my life again since I moved upstate from New York City. It's been a strange time. I felt really creatively uninspired, really confused about my art and about how I want to express myself and what feels good and right. And I think when I'm creatively drained and creatively empty and I can't get my spark to come back, I just feel like life is so mundane and awful. And I find that when I'm in New York, it's so much easier to get inspiration. I mean, you walk outside and you're hit with beautiful ranges of people and fashion and art and culture and food and just so many things that you can pull inspiration from and you can feel inspired by. And in my town here in upstate New York, I just feel like, why is everyone dressed the exact same way? Why am I doing the same thing every single day? When I walk outside, I almost expect to see the same familiar faces. I feel like an unfamiliar form in this place, and I'm just feeling so empty and I'm feeling so routine. And if you know me well, you know that as much as I like my small routines in terms of like, I wake up, I eat my breakfast, I, do all these things, or before I go to sleep, I do these rituals and routines. In terms of the actual bulk of my day, I don't like routine. I love to adventure and feel spontaneous and do things that might feel uncomfortable or scary or whatever. And I'm a super, super social person. I love spending time with friends. I hate being in the house. I'll be so honest with you. Girl, if there's afters, I'm going. Afters of anything. After a coffee date, after a party, after the club, like, where are we going? What are we doing? After the gym, where are we going? I think in New York, it was so much easier to fill my time and feel stimulated, I guess, socially, spiritually, just in so many ways. My life was so full. And I felt that, especially when it came to my art, I didn't have to try so hard to find things to write about, to paint about, to talk about, to feel about, right? Like it was all just right there for me. And now I'm really pulling from deep within myself to even get a topic to talk about. I'm starting to realize that in New York, the question I was trying to answer in my art was so different from what it is now. Back then it was these really big outside of myself questions. Like I was sure of my life. I was happy with my life, but I was asking things about the world, about the bigger purpose, about why all of this? Why do we care to create? Why do we want to leave our mark? Am I just going to be another book on a bookshelf of a used bookstore decades, generations from now that someone picks up and looks at and is like, ugh, I don't want to read that. Am I just going to be forgotten to some shelf somewhere? Am I even going to be on a shelf anywhere? Those are the things I was asking. But now my art has shifted to my self-worth. Like, am I a good person? Am I making the right choices for myself? Do I even know what I want? Do I even know who I am? And I feel like recognizing that switch has been intimidating because it's forced me to look at where I see my life and if I'm okay with that, if I'm comfortable with my life. And I'm really, in a way, too comfortable with things because they're so bland and empty. It's hard to not be comfortable. And I'm also so uncomfortable because this is not familiar. This is not how I want to live my life. It's not. I feel like when you compare, obviously, New York City to anywhere, it's going to be hard to to feel fulfilled in other places, if you connect with a place like New York City, but especially a place like upstate New York where I live, it is like painful up here. It's so bland, it's so mundane. It's just not interesting, not fun. I mean, if you know me like in real life, you know how I feel about this whole thing. It's eating away at me. And I feel like I'm on autopilot. I am living the same day over and over and over again. And I'm just tired. I'm tired of it. I'm sorry if that's like mega depressing. But I'm really trying to turn these like empty, mundane feelings into something remotely good for myself, because I know that where I'm at is just a passing moment. It is a fleeting feeling, right? I know eventually I'm going to love my life again, and I'm trying to take steps to get there, but damn, like right now it's really giving trenches. It's really giving bored. It's really giving unfulfilled. And that's hard because my inspiration is sort of running dry. I'm just so buried in routine and creatively understimulated, and it's a lot. I will say though, over the last like 3 months, there has been a huge spark in my art and creativity. And so from this point forward, the way that I'm handling all of this is just trying to maintain that little flame that's somewhere in me. There's just been this recent wave of inspiration. I mean, I can pinpoint exactly why and who and how, but it's just trying to hold on to that feeling of, wow, I remember what it feels like to create, and nurturing it constantly, because creativity is evidence of our aliveness. It's proof of life. And I constantly wonder, like, is my life actually dull, or am I just creatively understimulated? And I think that's really what it is, because when I am feeling creative and I am feeling inspired, I feel so much more connected to the world around me, and it helps me push myself into uncomfortable situations or try new things or reach back into my younger self and pull from her. It's a reminder that, yeah, I do remember how to write poetry. Yeah, I do remember how to paint. I've never forgot these things. I've never once went back to write something and forgot to be a good writer. I know that I'm a good writer. It's just the inspiration that's lacking, and it's making my life feel so dull. I'm going to keep trying to nurture that spark, because without it, it just don't feel the same connection to anything. There's a person in my life that came into my life in a really interesting time, and they're an incredible artist, the type of artist that you might only see like a handful of times in your lifetime. Being around another artist really pushed me, I think, in ways that I was not prepared for. And something that they told me was, I'm gonna get emotional here, sorry. They made an art piece, they made a sculpture, and we were talking about the process and the meaning of it and what to do with it now that it's quote unquote done, because it doesn't feel done. And they said that this piece of art was so much less about the end product. There was no desire to monetize. There was no desire for it to even be good. But what it was meant to do was showcase a feeling and a process. And this piece of art stands almost as a time capsule of a period of their life. And the journey to get to the finished product is so much more valuable than the finished product itself. Granted, the finished product was amazing, but the process there was more moving and more unbelievable and more powerful. That's something that I hope to carry with me forever, is that I need to stop being so worried about the perception of my art and of the end product, and just enjoy making it. And I think that'll help me, again, feel more connected to myself and the world around me, and hopefully then also will help me to love my life again and love where I'm at and create more art and nurture that spark. And I think this could look like, focusing obviously more on your process and letting yourself break rules that you've made for yourself in terms of art. But it can also look like craft nights with your friends, like scrapbook together, have a writing night, have a painting night, and enjoy the act of creating art for the sake of creating art. Don't think about, is this painting going to end up in a gallery one day? Am I going to be able to sell this and monetize it? Am I going to be able to post this online and get a lot of views? No, just enjoy making the art. And sometimes that's easier to do when you're surrounded by other artistic people. And that's kind of something I've been learning over the past few months. So I think I'm going to just lean in to the small things. I'm going to nurture myself, mind, body, and soul, and be okay with the fact that my life isn't exactly where I want it to be, but it's actually a really good life. And I'm going to try to notice more beauty around me versus being upset that I'm not in this place that I thought I would be right now. I want to slow down, go on more coffee dates, read more, write more, focus on my actual internal feelings and translating those outside of my body. I want to continue to take care of my body, go to the gym, go on walks now that it's getting nice out, stretching every morning and night, sacred physical touch, hugging my friends. Like, can we please hug y'all, please? I want fewer inputs, less noise, like less mindless, stupid consumption of material things or social media or apps that I don't need. And I just want to choose myself always and lean into the things that are fueling the parts of me that make a mundane period of my life much more bearable. So I'm not there yet. I think I'll be there before I know it. And I might not even realize that I'm there immediately. It might actually take a lot of time and then looking back and saying, wow, that really wasn't that bad. And you were actually in love with your life. And I think a lot of us do that. We struggle to live in the moment, especially as artists. We're constantly looking to capture a moment in words and in photograph and video and writing and painting, like however we choose to capture it. So when we look back, we're like, wow, that was actually a beautiful time. And I'm nostalgic for it. Even though in the moment I felt like that was the worst time of my life. So I'm just going to focus on little habits, aligning my intentions with always choosing myself and my spark. And I'm going to make my life one that I love again, no matter what it takes. So thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you found something in this. If you didn't, that's okay. But if you did, I'm sorry you're going through this and that you relate to this, because it sucks. Like, I hate this, but I'm glad we have each other and community here nonetheless. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you have not already. With love always, I will see you in my next video. Bye.